Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Financially Lit Tuesday. Back at it again every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., where I bring you news, tips, and tricks on how to wealth up. So thank you, those for welcome back, for those joining me again, and hello for those that are joining me for the first time. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit the subscribe and notification bell on the Sipping Wealth YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of the Financial Lit Tuesdays. And then also make sure that you hit subscribe and hit the share button as well, so that all our friends and family and all that good stuff could go ahead and wealth up with us. All right. So today, I'm gonna give y'all the honest truth. Okay. So we're gonna go in. We're gonna talk about some things that I've noticed, some things that the team has noticed at STA, and we just want to make sure that we bring that to the forefront as well. So for my people that's wealth minded, in the entrepreneur circle, there is no shortage of people that are like talking about business, finance, wealth, infotainment, all that good stuff with the 15-second reels. So there's a lot of that information out there, but sometimes there can be missing context. Information could be misconstrued. Also, information could also just be plain old inaccurate. So, especially like when you're watching those 15-second reels, maybe you may think one way and it just needs to be completely laid out as far as what the do's and don'ts of these certain things. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Also, if you tuned in, go ahead and say hello. It's a little something. Let me know who's tuned in with me. Hello, y'all. And then, of course, as I'm speaking, if you do have a question, feel free to go ahead and drop your questions in the comment section as well. All right. So, some things for my new business owners. I really want to hit on this, right? So I want to make sure that y'all, at the end of the day, you're on the right foot when you start your business. You're set up for success. And one of the huge do's is to make sure you do your research, y'all. Like, that is huge. That is big. I know you get out there, you have this awesome idea. You're like, oh my gosh, I got to start a business tomorrow, right? But hold on, pump your brakes, and you have to make sure that you're doing your research. You're researching your competitors, the industry that you're in, the product or service. Make sure that you're completely competent in the areas that heavily impact your business. And I'm talking marketing, sales, finances, networking, like it all. Like, you want to make sure, hey MJ, hey girl, hey. You want to make sure that you're knowledgeable on these things, because yes, even on my end, you hire STA. You're like, STA, could you go ahead and handle the financials for the business? Because that's burdensome for me, which is cool. We'll make sure that we get your books and everything organized. But there is a level of education and understanding that you must have about your business, because that is going to make sure that you make the right decisions when it comes to moving your business in the right direction. All right, y'all. So one thing I've seen commonly on social media is get an SCorp and you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to be a millionaire. Woo! Which is not a thing. People keep throwing around the whole get an SCorp thing. And I just want to kind of stop it. Okay. Stop with the SCorp talk, because I do want to make sure that, hey, SCorp is not a bad tax selection. It's not. It's just that making sure that you are ready to move into the SCorp status, because a lot of businesses, you're just starting and you're like, okay, I want to switch to an SCorp status, and have no clue what it even means to have an SCorp. You don't even understand that it's a tax election and not an entity structure. So making sure that you do your research, you understand the implications on the SCorp status, and also understand, hey, with having an SCorp, what comes into play? You are no longer self-employed. You are employed by that business. So there's different things that, you have to have in place. Okay. And if you did elect an SCorp and you didn't actually, you're like, yeah, I'm an SCorp. I went on some biz and I did it, and I got my EIN with the IRS, and I'm an SCorp. If you didn't file the form to actually convert your business into an SCorp, which is 2553, if you didn't file that form, you are not an SCorp. Okay, so you definitely want to make sure that you actually are doing the right filings. You're knowledgeable before you make that step on whether or not it's the right step for you. Okay. So what I'm saying is, look, make sure you study, do your research, you read your fine prints. Even when it comes to like taxes and regulations, look, every entity, every business type has to deal with this. But it's making sure that you have some basis of knowledge and you continue to learn when it comes to making sure that you're in compliance with these different things. And research is how you do it. Number two, all right, y'all, is have a plan and measure your progress. Look, y'all, this is so big because, you get into business, you're excited. You're like, oh yeah, we're lit. And then, like after that, you're like, okay, I want to be at $1 million in 2 years. Well, how are you gonna get there? You have to make sure that you're making step-by-step plan. All right, in quarter 1, this is the numbers that we need to hit in order to get to this. In 1 month, this is what the numbers that we need to hit in order to make sure that in 2 years we can actually hit our $1 million marker. You have to have a plan. And I'm like a broken record when it comes to my clients, y'all. When it comes to like the best financial practices, I talk to all my clients. I make sure, like, look, when people get on the call with me, and Jocelyn, my get on me all the time, and she's like, Wadeline, look, your next client is waiting, because I get really passionate when I get on the phone with my clients or on the call. And I'm like, yeah, I'm teaching them different laws, and I'm talking to them about this and that. And I'm like, oh, did you know about this compliance law? And, giving different tips. Hey, Leo, I'm going to link up with you soon. All right, I'm looking forward to chatting with you. Yes. So I'm like, yeah, and I'm talking to them about different things that they need to implement or even be conscious about. I'm always watching the news because it heavily impacts my industry, right? I'm in everyone's industry. So making sure that I'm knowledgeable about current events, knowledgeable about tax law, like there's a lot. And I make sure that I educate my clients as well. All right, y'all. But still, back to the point here. Making sure that you have a proper plan. Look, I meet with my bookkeeping clients. We meet with our bookkeeping clients every month. I meet with them to build a strategy out every either month or every quarter. Like to make sure, hey, we have a strategy in place. All right, your numbers are this, okay? And then this is what we need in order to get to this level. Like this is what we're doing every month. This is what we're doing every quarter with my clients. Like, and it's necessary as a business owner, you have to do this. You have to apply these practices. And even when they're off the call with me, they still have to go back and say, okay, all right, taking what we kind of came up with on the call, I need to do this, that, and the third. All right, y'all. So look, I'm all for, getting a feel for business and, going out there and making sure that you just do it, right? But also making sure that you have a blueprint, you have goals, you're tracking and measuring so that you can actually scale, so you can actually know what the problem is, especially if you're in your core values financially. Right. Yes. We love to be educated, right? Look, have to. It's huge. Definitely have to. So have a development session. Make sure that you have a business model. Business models are huge and awesome. They're because they lay out the specs for your business. I showed y'all my business model. It's behind me. So that in red ink is literally my business model. So I look at that business model all the time because I want to make sure that I'm on track and whatever things I implement, whatever is on, like, is literally on par with what my brand represents and what my brand is. So I make sure that I hang up my business model and I look at it so that when I'm making those decisions on my business and looking at those numbers, I'm like, pop, pop, let's do it. All right. So having this process will help you also keep you accountable. So it'll keep you on track. Like I said, if it's the $1 million goal, if it's 2 million, 5 million, 100,000, if it's 50,000 by the end of the year, whatever your goal is, you need to make sure that you have these plans and things in place so that you are tracking and measuring, and you're actually hitting those goals. If you have a problem hitting your goals, I know why, because you're not tracking and measuring. Right? You need to make sure that you are actually doing this process. Yes, it could be tedious and like, oh my gosh, but it is beneficial and it's necessary. All right, y'all. So do have a plan and measure progress. Measure your progress. Measure, measure, measure. All right. So for my don'ts, don't forget the future. Look, I know the future, it could be like overwhelming. You're like, oh my gosh, my goal is $5 million or my goal is 100,000. It just seems so huge, like, like scary. But too often business owners are not prepared, and they're unprepared for the unexpected events, or the or development needs, or things that's necessary in order to move their business. So they're like, oh yeah, I want to hit $100,000, but they don't have the manpower or things in place to actually to meet the clientele or things necessary to hit 100K, right? So what's going to happen when you hit 100K? Do you have the proper accounting procedures in place? Do you have internal controls? Do you have a team? Like, what's going to happen? Are you actually set up to receive that influx of clientele? So you want to make sure that you are on, you're not forgetting about the future. You want to plan for the future, because then hey, I need to implement this now, because 5 months from now or a year from now, I'm going to need this, right? A business can totally get by, with making sure that they're keeping their receipts, they're using their sales platforms. There's a lot of sales platforms that help with tracking and measuring. But a lot of business owners are not even utilizing all these free services that are built into these platforms. And if I ask them, hey, what is your overhead? What are your overhead expenses? Hold on, what's overhead expenses? I don't know. Or what is your profit margin? You don't know what your profit margin is. How do you know if you're in the red or the black? How do you know if you're in the negative or the positive if you don't know what your profit margin is? Okay. For my service-based businesses, it is very easy for y'all to get caught up in the red, because your product is not directly tied to your variable costs. Okay, my lotion costs $5 and then I sell it for 10. But in service base, you have literally all these overhead costs. You have all these other things that you need to purchase. Next thing you know, you're like, wait, my payroll is skyrocketing. My payroll is out of control. I don't have the proper measures in place to make sure that my team is putting in their hours properly, or I don't have anyone on salary, whatever the case may be. And you're not set so that you can have your business stay in the black. So make sure you keep in track and make sure you have that future in place. So do not ignore the future, y'all. Okay. Now, when it comes to setting up your organization, people come to me and they're like, hey, I want to set up my business. Or they come to me, a lot of the time they come to me after the fact. They're like, oh yeah, I went to SunBiz. Got my EIN number, and this is what I want to do. Well, why did you choose that entity structure if this is what you wanted to do? If you want to be here, why did you choose this? Because everyone else was doing it. You didn't have the proper strategy in place. If you have to keep the end in mind. So where do you want to be? So why are you building this business? Where do you want to be? Keeping the end in mind will shift you so that okay, with this goal in mind or with this end in mind, I need to do this, that, and the third. All right, y'all. Okay. All right. Our next don't is don't wait to get help. See, right now, for example, right now I'm live. Okay. And so many people miss the opportunity to even drop a quick question that's been like pressing on their mind. They're like, man, I've been meaning to reach out to her and ask this question, and I did it. You can send a direct message. You can message the Grand Rev number, text message. You can email. You can call. We literally have every method of communication, right? Even on this live right now, you could go in the comment section and drop a question, right? Do not wait to get help, because what ends up happening is the problem is snowballing, and then you're gonna have an entire mountain avalanche of problems. All right, you're your own boss at the end of the day. So the best, it's awesome. You're your business owner. You're in control. You're like, oh yeah, whatever I do, it's because I'm in complete control. So I'm not on someone else's clock. Like I have time, freedom of time. But at the end of the day, it's like there's still certain things that you need to do, right? So we have to make sure that we're being proactive and getting things that or resources that we need to be successful overall and keep our business on track. Because if you know who you are, you better than anything, right? So you already know, hey, this is probably not the best area for me. Or when it comes to taxes, my personal taxes, I didn't even know what I was doing. And now you're getting into business. And now instead of income tax, you have sales tax, you have reemployment tax, you have income tax, you have you have uh transient tax. There's so many other different taxes. And then but you're no longer messing with the individual arena, but you're like, oh yeah, I'm not going to get help, I'm going to figure it out on my own. Or let's say when it comes to building your business, this is your first time in business, but you're like, oh yeah, I got this. Why not go out and make expensive mistakes when I can go and seek help and put a band-aid on that bleeding, right? So that you don't have to spend all that money on expensive mistakes. You spend all this money, you pay all these penalties, and you're out of compliance, and when you could have just asked for help. And like I said, at STA, we literally have all forms of communication. If you want to write us on social media, you can. If you want to send us a text message on our office line, you can. If you want to call, you can. If you want to leave a voicemail, you could do that. If you want to leave a voice note, you can do that, right? So you have a lot of different organizations, even if it's not even on the financial realm. Even if it's like, I need a person, a team member. I need someone new to add to the team. I need a virtual assistant. Whatever the service is, make sure that you get the help that you need. All right, that's all I'm saying. A business coach, financial advisor, marketing expert. Marketing is something that everyone, business owners, I just got to tell you, everyone has to be good in sales. It's not just you. So not just you. And not just you handing it off to somebody. Because if you think that you're just gonna completely hand off the marketing side of your business, you got nothing coming, because that's not how it works. So one thing that you have to make sure that you're actually learning from the marketing expert. You're paying for the coaching, and that you actually have a coach. I have 4 coaches. I have a coach in my industry, a tax and accounting coach. I have a wealth coach. So you want to make sure that you have these people that are pouring into you, that are more knowledgeable than you. That's going to help get you in the right on the right foot. Okay, y'all. So my business is successful in the way I am because of my accountability around me at the end of the day. Like my coaches are on me, my team is on me. They're like, hey Wadleen, I need this, da, da, da. My friends, my colleagues, they keep me accountable as well. But it's also making sure that, hey, I have a proper plan in place. Because with that is knowing that I want to hit this goal at this time. So I need to do this, that, and the third. And that's what it's all about. Making sure that you keep the end in mind, y'all. Don't forget about the future. Don't negate seeking help, and make sure that you have a plan and actually measuring your progress over time. And make sure you do your research. It's huge, y'all. That's big, that's big, that's big. All right. Hey, Eni. What's up? Hey. We'll be at the network tonight. Well, I said we. I will. Hey MJ, how's it going, girl? Hopefully I see you tonight. I know you have the little one. Um, but yes, y'all, thank you again. This is my soapbox on the do's and don'ts for your business. So make sure that if you missed part of the live, I did go over a lot of great information. Make sure you rewatch it. Go to the Sipping Wealth YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, because this is information that everyone needs to know. Really, especially because we have emerging business owners every day, every moment. There are tons of businesses that just get left and pushed to the wayside, right? So making sure over 90% of the businesses in the world are small businesses. So, and they're being developed every day. Making sure that y'all are starting on the right foot. So go ahead and make sure that you are watching this video, getting all the details, and make sure that you stay tuned to the next episode of Financially Lit Tuesday. Again, every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., where I bring you news, tips, and tricks on how to wealth up, y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey. I will see y'all later. Hey, Brian. How's it going? Antoinette. Oh, well, the live will be posted. I'll post it. I actually just finished that. But you can watch the rerun, repeat, because I did go over a lot of information, a lot of cool things, all that good stuff. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Definitely let me know what y'all think. And if you have any topics that you'd like us to cover in the future, then send it in, because we're definitely looking for feedback. We're looking for topic ideas, all that good stuff. But yeah, y'all, have an awesome, a lit, financially lit Tuesday.